Welcome to the Full Nielsen. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Timney Alpha competition trigger for the Glock Gen 5 series of handguns. Here I have a Glock 34 and a Glock 19. As you can see, these triggers are not currently installed in my Glocks, and that is because they are unreliable pieces of garbage as far as I'm concerned. I bought two of these triggers and installed them, went out to the range, and immediately started getting light primer strikes in my Glock 34. I have probably owned 15 to 20 different models of Glocks, of different calibers and different sizes, all that kind of stuff. I think I've owned every Glock 9mm that they have produced, including all the compact ones and all that kind of stuff at one point or another. I think only the 17L is the only one that I have not owned in terms of the models 9mm. I've owned a bunch in 40, a bunch in 10mm. And one of the things that has always appealed to me about Glocks is they have, in my experience, been extraordinarily reliable. I have never had malfunctions with my Glocks that were not ammo related or magazine related, something like that. They've always just, every time you pull the trigger, they go bang. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy about them. Now, when I first bought these Timney Alpha triggers, I installed one in my Glock 34 and one in my Glock 19 and went to the range. Shot my Glock 34, and probably 3 rounds in, round didn't go off. And I was with some friends, and I wasn't really even thinking about the fact that I had changed the triggers out initially. And I thought, that's weird. So I just cleared the malfunction, kept shooting, and another malfunction again like 3 rounds later. And I was like, that's weird. And I looked over at my buddy, and he said, what? And I said, I had 2 malfunctions out of, 4 rounds or 5 rounds, on my Glock. That's got to be some kind of record of all the Glocks I've ever owned. I've never had that. And then it dawned on me as I grabbed the round and looked at the back of it, light primer strike. And I thought, I wonder if those new triggers are the culprit for this. Well, shot my Glock 19, and I probably had, out of every magazine I shot out of my Glock 34, 3 to 4 light primer strike malfunctions like that. Went to my Glock 19, and I was shooting and probably got 2 magazines for every light primer strike round that didn't go off out of it. So it was more reliable, but still not reliable the way that it should be. Got a hold of Timney when I got home and said, hey guys, I'm having issues with these triggers I picked up from you. And they said, oh yeah, we'll send you a new trigger shoe and trigger bar and get back to us and let us know if that solves your issue. And it's got this little dimple here like you'd see on the Gen 4 Glocks. Anyway, okay, great. I installed it. They said, let us know how it goes and get back to us. Well, it's been a while. I've been to the range a couple times and went out. The one time was still having issues since I have changed these components out. And they say if you're using an aftermarket trigger connector, then you need to use a different spring. I have some aftermarket connectors. I have the stock connectors. I've tried both different types of connectors with both types of springs that they include to try out, depending on if you're using aftermarket or stock. None of them have been reliable. Went out again today, and this gun in 30 degrees weather, I was getting like out of 17 rounds, 13 rounds not going off like primer strike issues. My Glock 19, probably a couple rounds every magazine not going off in this gun here. Came home pretty frustrated, got some other guns sighted in, thank goodness, which was the highlight of the day, was the way some of those other ones shot. But pretty rough experience with these guns. Immediately ripped out all of the Timney stuff, put all the stock parts back in them. I did put in 3.5 pound connectors. I've never had issues with those. Changed all these trigger components out and all the stock trigger connectors out, and then put in 3.5 pound connectors. Never had reliability issues doing that. And anyway, that's where I'm at now. I do not recommend these for any use. When I say that these triggers, in my opinion, are not only not good, they advertise them as a competition trigger, not as a carry trigger. I was hoping to be able to use them at the range and for carry. I would not recommend these for either one. Whatever they'll net you in terms of trigger feel and lowering the pull weight, you're offsetting so heavily in the reliability end of things that I don't understand how these even made it out the door. These may cause you to lose a competition in terms of the loss reliability or the reliability you're going to lose. And on the carry end of things, for serious use, these might get you killed. Okay? My tolerance for that type of product is 0. Hence the reason why I pulled them out and I'm not using them. I don't even feel good about selling them to anybody to get rid of them. I'm going to get a hold of Timney and see if they'll give me some kind of refund or something with that. I'll make a follow-up video and let you know how all of that went. I am tired of companies treating their customers like beta testers, especially when it comes to products that may be used in very serious applications. Imagine somebody needing their firearm in a life-threatening situation, and they've got a trigger like this installed, and they pull the trigger and it goes click instead of bang. They quickly clear the round, put another round in, click again instead of bang. And they do that, I don't know, in my case today, I had times where I went 6 or 8 rounds in a row with a click and no bang. Okay? That's ridiculous. These should be recalled. These should not even be leaving the factory in this state. I know there are some other popular YouTubers out there, some of whom I had pretty high degree of confidence in, who have reviewed these triggers, who recommend them and say they're the best thing ever for Glocks since, Glocks have come out and they're a must-have outside of having sights and all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, I really am calling into question their integrity at this point. I think that Timney probably sent them some free products for review, and they praised it all up and down because of that in order to preserve that type of relationship or whatever. Anyway, don't believe the hype. My experience has been horrible with these triggers in the sample size of 2 I had, and then both of the 2 replacement sets of parts that they sent me. No good. These get a do not pass go rating for me. So anyway, if you guys have any experiences of your own, and I'll add to this before I conclude this video. These issues are extremely well documented. You can find tons of other YouTubers out there, the ones that maybe didn't get them for free or didn't get a review sample or something like that are having the same issues. You can find all over forums on the internet of people that are trying to figure out how to fix these triggers that basically came broken from Timney as far as I'm concerned. So these issues are not a secret. Very widespread, very well documented. I'll be interested to see if they issue a recall or if they're just waiting, and replacing the ones one by one from the people who actually say something about them. Lots of people don't use their handguns. They'll put a trigger like this in and they'll leave it in there and just think it's good to go. They'll have shot 3 rounds out of the thing and think it's fine. Or they'll have had one malfunction and said, oh, well, I don't know what it is. It's not really the trigger. And those people may be in for a world of hurt in the event that they need something like that when they're on the clock at a competition, or if they're in a life-threatening situation and they need to be able to use that firearm to defend themselves. Anyway, so that's been my experience with these triggers. I don't recommend them. If you guys have any questions or comments or experience of your own with these triggers, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.